Welcome back, everybody. We're on part 4 of episode 108. It's time to start talking about our review for WWE's 2013 Survivor Series pay-per-view. And what better way to kick it off than with the kickoff match, The Miz against Kofi Kingston. Miz wins via pinfall here when he reverses a pinfall attempt from Kofi Kingston, which I actually thought was a little bit weird. I was expecting this match to be something completely different from what it was. And originally I thought with that Miz heel turn, this was going to be almost a squash. And it turns out it was a pretty even match, with Kofi looking more like the heel out of this whole thing. Miz goes for a handshake. Kofi Kingston slaps him. They've been really awkward with this Miz heel turn, and Kofi's, I don't know, maybe he's the one that's going to be turning heel instead. Kind of an odd situation. What do you guys think about this, Peyton?
I absolutely think that Kofi is on the heel turn, and Miz, I think, will eventually be a heel as well. As far as what they're doing with this, I'm just so goddamn confused. I mean, Miz drops down last week on Raw. Okay, Miz is heel. We go into our match at Survivor Series. Miz is working more like a face for most of the match. Kofi's just kind of doing his thing. But before the match is over, or after it's over, I should say, Kofi slaps Miz. Okay, now Kofi's the heel, and Miz is looking like a baby face. Then Miz comes out from Miz TV on Monday, invites Titus O'Neil out. They're making fun of Michael Strahan. He's a heel. Then Michael Strahan comes out, and they're palling around. Miz is a babyface. Then he's trying to hip toss him. Miz is a heel. Then they're hugging and doing the millions of dollars dance. Miz is a babyface. What the fuck?
How does this change from what WWE does usually?
Oh, this is completely different. I mean, usually they stick to their guns a little bit, even if it might not be the best idea. But
did you remember Corporate Kane came out, and then next minute he's acting like a face, but he's a heel again? Then Triple H and Steph, they have this whole alliance thing, and then they're heels, they're faces, they're heels, they're faces. It's just
they never define themselves as either one. They're very clearly people who are just people in charge and putting their power over whoever they have to put it over.
It just doesn't make the whole concept at the moment with the WWE and having this whole blurred lines thing just doesn't make sense.
Yes, have you ever worked a job? Because that's what bosses are like.
Yeah, but this is pro wrestling. This isn't like a normal everyday job. You need a clear cut heel and face.
No, you don't.
You know,
it's always a job for somebody like JTG.
Well, yeah. With the Miz situation, like, shows that entirely. They don't know what they're doing with the guy. They keep looking like they're going to pull the trigger on it, but they were like, should we, shouldn't we, should we, shouldn't we? And doing stuff like that is one of the main reasons why Miz is in limbo. If they were going to turn anyone heel, I agree. Kofi's the guy, because his character's gotten extremely stale, and it probably would be a good jumping point for a guy like The Miz to actually pursue someone and have a nice little feud going on. They need a bit more storytelling, but we'll see. Because Miz, entirely, his whole heel face situation anyway, has been more shoot from the hip booking, and it's the kind of thing that ends up messing with the product.
Well, I think that they're going to be going with Kofi heel turn because it's something a little bit different. And the Miz thing, maybe they were just trying to test the water and see if people would respond better. And because they didn't necessarily go nuts over it, maybe they're kind of backtreading a little bit.
It's because no one cares. That's the whole thing when it comes to the Miz. He's been so misused. I think would be the terms used when it comes to the guy, and it's just not. No one gives a monkeys. He was like when Big Show had that whole, like, I wouldn't say heel turn, but sort of that tweener thing going on where he was being misled by the corporate entity, and he punched Miz in the face. People were cheering.
Well, as far as this match goes, I think that really the only talking point is the handshake. Did anybody have anything that they wanted to pinpoint about what happened during the match? I didn't really think anything crazy happened.
It was a fine match.
Pretty standard. That's pretty much the only note that I had.
There was nothing messy. There's nothing you can be like, oh, this was atrocious. This is a waste of time. But I think it was a perfect pre-show match.
Yeah. And the fact that they used that as These two people, at first it seemed like it was just, they're just going to do the squash match and that's it for the pre-show, but introducing that handshake thing made it actually worth something. So kudos to WWE for doing that instead of just making this, another Xavier Woods tag team match where he beats 3MB or something like that. So I liked it overall. I thought it wasn't too bad. It was a good way to start the pay-per-view and get me intrigued of what was going to come for the rest of the night. We're going to move on. The next part here, traditional elimination match. And then we're going to start talking about the Intercontinental title and so on and so forth in all the following parts. So stay tuned.